the network of the National Hockey League presents the Road to the Stanley Cup, the oldest trophy competed for by professional athletes in North America. The Stanley Cup playoffs, the most grueling competition, both mentally and physically in all of athletics. Who will be the sole survivor come the end of May? ESPN's Road to the Cup kicks off coverage tonight with the Patrick Division semifinal matchup. It's game one between the New Jersey Devils and the New York Islanders.
Veteran crew of officials. Andy Van Helleman, his 17th year. Wayne Bonney and Dan Shakti are the linesmen. The goalies are Burke and Kelly Rudy. Belichick, starting on defense for the New Jersey Devils, drills it into the Islanders zone deep. He's matched up with Joe Cirella. It's the checkers, Loisel, Brown, and Conacher for New Jersey. And trying to penetrate was Belichick. It's rolled back out by Derek King. Pat LaFontaine is the starting centerman for the Islanders, flanked by Wood and King. Didick and Denis Potvin the defense. Didick bounces one. Belichick takes. I'm just wondering how many hours of missed sleep there might have been before this first game.
Mike, I think the big question is, how will the Devils react? This is half of this team's first playoff game ever. If there are nerves, we'll see them in the first 5 minutes of the game. Jim Schoenfeld started a very defensive-oriented line so that there are no mistakes. Nobody taking any chances early.
Belichick shoulders with Henry. A joust from Alan Kerr. Henry back to Norton. Norton's drive deflected away by Verbeek. Rebound and cut. Oh, and it was in the net mouth. And then turned aside. A penalty is coming up. 1 minute, 7 seconds after the start. The first power play is coming. We'll be right back.
Hi, you must be Tammy's blind Dave. I'm Spike, her twin brother. Twin brother, twin brother, twin brother, twin brother. Tammy, your date's here. Hey, can I offer you a Bud Light?
Sure.
Here you go.
Hi.
Hi.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
You smell good.
We got a big problem.
Problem?
New Roundup.
New Roundup? What now?
It's twice as strong, faster than ever. It'll shrivel you all the way down to the roots.
So we can't grow back? Oh, I feel faint.
New Roundup. No root, no weed, no problem.
Complete system failure. I'm going down.
On July 27th, crash into the unexpected.
Bow your head.
What? Talking monkeys can't exist.
Discover the unbelievable.
Get me the spaceman.
How the hell did it get like this?
Challenge the invincible.
Kill them all.
Let's go explain evolution to the monkeys.
Take back the planet.
Play dead.
Planet of the Apes. Rated PG-13. July 27th, only in theaters.
This weekend, Friday on ESPN, starting at 8 a.m., it's all-day live coverage when Tiger Woods defends his title at the British Open. Saturday on ESPN's The Life, Eagles QB Donovan McNabb reflects on the past and eyes a title run in Philly. At 12:30, NASCAR Trucks points leader Scott Riggs looks to maintain his dominance at the New England 200. And later, Sam Hornish Jr.'s quest to be the youngest national champion in IRL history at the Nashville Indy 200. Do you have all the ESPN networks?
We've got our first power play of the hockey game, and you might have thought it was going to, the penalty was going to be to the Devils because it was deep in their zone. Not so. The charging penalty is on Dale Henry. There he is, cross-checking and charging Randy Velishek into the net. Velishek saved the day for Sean Burke. The puck had gotten through him, was behind him. Velishek saved the Devils a goal early.
Now for the power play, Jim Schoenfeld will use Verbeek, Muller, and Broughton. Curvers will work 1 point, and Bruce Driver the other. The penalty killers for the Islanders include Gilbert and Brent Sutter, in back Norton and Morrow. The play is made in by Broughton. Kelly Rudy sets it up. Morrow drives. Curvers can't keep. Rushed and pawed at by Brent Sutter. It comes over to Driver and back along to Broughton. Morrow rushed and checked by Kirk Muller. Broughton tries to feed to Muller and gets it to him. Deliberately, they play it back to Driver. Driver's shot hits someone in front. Pat Verbeek plays it back to Driver. His shot mashed back out by Gilbert. Shift change for the penalty killers. 1 minute and 5 seconds to go on the power play. Bruce Driver steps back in. Lays it over for Verbeek, who's checked by Trottier. Puck flung back down the ice by Denis. Those butterflies, Bill, how do you get rid of them? Good stiff check your first shift?
No, all you have to do is get out there and expend some energy. That's what the adrenaline is connected to. So every time you get out there, get that first shift of the game out of the way, then you can start to settle down. That's why I said the first 5 minutes of the game for the Devils, everyone will have gotten in at least one shift by then.
Kerber's checked hard by Crom. The puck kicked over to Potvin. And Potvin clears. Those of you who follow the Devils may be surprised to know that Crom, or check that, the Islanders may be surprised to know that Crom is wearing uniform number 12 tonight. All season long he's worn 35, but he is in an horrendous slump, having not scored 52 goals, so he's made the shift to 12. Icing called against the Devils while on the power play, so there'll be 21 seconds of time to them, but a face-off in their end. They rank 10th overall in the league, but the Islanders down the stretch killed off 42 of their last 44.
That's a key thing as well. Those edges that we did at the outset of the game will change as the playoffs go along, because teams will end up in special team slumps. Other ones will end up really playing well special teams wise. There's the man that the Devils have to count on. They have to count on him too. There's Jim Schoenfeld, who took over from Doug Carpenter partway through this hockey season. What a happy guy he was this morning.
Wolanin checked hard by Alan Kerr. Play made back out by Mark Johnson. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Wolanin tries to reach. It is flipped by Morrow. Caroms over to Brent Sutter, and he clears. 2 seconds. 1. Out of the box. Henry. Wolanin to Ken Danico. Bash and crash on the Devils defense are out there right now. Here comes Sundstrom. Ridden to the corner by Morrow. In comes Alan Kerr. And McLean. Still they muscle it along. McLean hoping it'll come to him. Can't pick it loose. Kerr goes down. Puck nearly lost underneath, but now McLean has it. Gets away from Kerr's check. Nice move by McLean. Feed down front for Sundstrom. Shot save. Another save. Made by Kelly Rudy. And the crowd chants Roo, Roo for a Kelly Rudy save. On comes LaFontaine, poked away by Potvin, and it's Danico connecting to McLean. 4 minutes gone, first period of play, no score. Denis Potvin ahead. Conacher is checking Makela. Makela able to flick it away. LaFontaine to Potvin. Knocked wide by Gilbert. Out in front, Makela. Save made by Burke, and he holds at the side of the goal. And the first display of temperament in the game. Ken Danico and Gilbert.
Anybody gets close to Sean Burke, you know the Devils are going to move him out of the way.
Bob Vila tells homeowners how to get out from under credit card debt.
Hi, I'm Bob Vila, and these are offers to get credit cards. It's pretty easy to get them, not so easy to get out from under the bills. How many credit card bills do you get each month? 3, 5, more? And how much interest are you paying? 16, 18%? Do you even know? And don't be fooled by introductory rates that only last a few months. You can eliminate those bills. You can stop paying that high interest. Here's how. Just call Home 123. The loan counselors at Home 123 will show you how to turn your high-interest credit card bills into one bill that's probably a lot less than you're paying now. And the interest may even be tax-deductible, unlike credit card interest. Imagine just one bill a month and money left in your pocket. So, if you own your own home, call Home 123 right now and discover how to get rid of all those credit card bills. Call 1-800-HOME-123 or visit us on the web at home123.com. It's how to get the money you need.
Does it get any better than sudden death overtime in the Stanley Cup playoffs? I think not.
Sutter will have Trottier on his left, Makela on his right for the power play. First shift. Denis Potvin will work 1 point, and Ken Leiter will handle the other. Mark Johnson, member of that '80 Olympic team, a member of this New Jersey Devils team tonight. Up front is Conacher, working also with Brown. And it is Belichick and Sorella back on defense. It is this combination that caused quite a stir in Washington. The Devils had never won there. Sorella with a shot that stick to the seats by Rudy, but it was Brown who scored 2 shorthanded goals late in the game to defeat Washington, and that was one of the keys down the stretch for New Jersey.
There's Kelly Rudy. The Islanders played a little bit of a waiting game. Terry Simpson didn't tell anybody who was starting. Kelly Rudy and Billy Smith kind of put on a charade for a couple of days, trying to keep everybody in suspense, and it worked up until about this afternoon when everybody started to figure it out. It's a good save by Rudy. Yesterday, Kelly Rudy even left practice with a patch over his eye, leading a number of people, including sports writers and people that were there, to print that there was, without question, Billy Smith would start tonight. It was all a game that they were playing, and there's Kelly Rudy in goal for the Islanders tonight.
One of the hotly debated topics every year at this time is whether Billy Smith will start or the other goalie. And for the last 3 years, the first game of the Islanders in the playoffs has gone to Rudy. Leiter taps over to Potvin. Right through the forechecking of Sundstrom to Leiter, and he is just rammed by Conacher. Still they were. Handing away at it is Mark Johnson along with Brent Sutter. So it was Johnson who threw that check. Puck fed along, and Sorella ties up King so that it can go all the way back down. And now the Islanders are nearing the halfway point on their power play. Belichick slams. Potvin stops. Hand it over to Norton. Lost, though, to Sundstrom.
Some pretty determined penalty killing. You are seeing what really got the New Jersey Devils into the playoffs this year for the first time in their history. That dogged determination. They will not be denied in a lot of situations along the boards.
Brent Sutter over to Norton. It is Makela back to Norton. Then to Potvin. Norton again. Makela one-timer score.
Sean Burke is great, but he's not superhuman. Mikko Makela on a sharp angle, 1 times a shot, and it is a low percentage shot. He executes it absolutely perfectly. Right up over Sean Burke. You couldn't even see the puck coming. It was coming so fast. You can see where Makela is on your left. He is in pretty deep. Norton over to Makela, who 1 times it, doesn't even stop it. Sean Burke is just getting over there to try and get some position on him. I'm not sure he expected it. It was such a sharp angle. He might have anticipated a pass more than a shot. Makela, no mistake. Islanders 1, Devils nothing.
Basson flips over to Lauer as Terry Simpson goes to some checkers of his own now. Puck dropped back in, and Rudy sets it up for Leiter. Then along to Crom. Bumps it ahead to Basson. Took a hit from Shanahan. Basson's roll is just a trickle, and Maley buried Lauer at the line. Thrown along by Burke, and it escapes through to Maley. Maley sized up on the play by Conroy. Little pass is read by Basson and tapped away. Potvin and Norton get the assist on Makela's first goal of the playoffs at 5:44, a power play goal. Crom's pass is too far for Lauer. Shift change on again for the Islanders. They bring out Alan Kerr. Sorella rolls, but Conroy is there. Stepping with this one is Pat Verbeek. Bumps into Crom, makes sure he gets some of the man, even though his stick is gone. And Crom laid some lumber on him as he heads to the bench to get another stick. Puck played by Sorella. Along now to Kirk Muller. Punches it through to Broughton, and Broughton's slam is right into Norton. What a check thrown by Muller on Henry. Broughton flips behind. Morrow starts after it. Verbeek preoccupied with Kerr, and it's laid by both of them for Belichick. Shot that was tipped wide by Muller. Henry back for the Islanders. Too far for the open side where Brent Sutter was moving. Muller feeds Broughton and gets it back again, and then Muller is Broughton just buried as Muller fires one. There'll be a penalty coming up to the Islanders on the delayed call. The Devils have 6 attackers, and Diddick stops it. So we'll get a power play for New Jersey. The Devils trailing.
In the battle against athlete's foot,
You gotta have, boom, tough-actin' Tinactin. Tinactin pump spray is clinically proven to stop the severe itching and burning of athlete's foot. Tinactin is so tough it even prevents athlete's foot. So get, boom, tough-actin' Tinactin.
Now the Monopoly game at McDonald's is more exciting, because you can pick your prize.
What will you pick when you win?
Pick a Philips home theater system or other great prizes, like an Olympus digital photography package.
What will you pick?
Or a HP home computer system.
You now control the world.
Play the Pick Your Prize Monopoly game at McDonald's. What will you pick when you win?
We love to see you smile.
ESPN Deportes está aquí. Ahora ESPN es en español. Los domingos por la noche no se pierda Major League Baseball. Y muy pronto la NFL y boxeo. ESPN Deportes. Los domingos a las 7:30.
ESPN Classic is going back in time to Jordan and Miller's famous down-to-the-wire battle from '98. Tonight at 9, only on ESPN Classic. You're watching ESPN Classic.
The face-off, down goes Denis Potvin, and off will come a Devil, John McClain. And that took care of the power play in just 6 seconds.
We didn't even have a chance to tell you that Alan Kerr had been whistled off for tripping, so now it almost becomes a coincidental penalty. Only 6 minutes separating the penalties. The difference is that the teams will play with only 4 skaters now. Here's a look at it. Top of your screen, 15. McClain in red trips Denis Potvin, who's going around the back of the net. And that evens it up. You know, one of the advantages I think the Devils have, we mentioned earlier that we don't know what to expect. Nobody does. Even Jim Schoenfeld, the Devils coach, said this morning, I can't tell you what is going to happen because half of our team has never been in this situation. It's an advantage for the Devils to start on the road. They can suppress some of that adrenaline early rather than having it surge in front of their hometown crowd in the opening game of the series.
Sundstrom tries to penetrate, but can't. LaFontaine lays it back out. Play made back along by Mark Johnson. Broken up by Diddick. Diddick gives chase, but so does Bruce Driver. Driver pivoting away from LaFontaine. A little more square footage of ice per man out there when both teams go a man short. That's the situation we're in for almost the next 90 seconds. 11:45 to go first period. Islanders leading the Devils 1-0. LaFontaine's drive is deflected. Taken now by Driver. Handed back on and moving it out as Johnson to Sundstrom. Tries to get by Diddick, then lets a good shot go that is eaten up by Rudy. Potvin's pass is tipped by LaFontaine. Danico goes back. We mentioned that Danico-Wolanin matchup. 2 physical, hard-hitting defensemen paired together. On with it comes Verbeek. The drop is over to Muller. Taken to the corner and hoisted nearly out of the play by Conroy. Muller trying with that strength to get back. Trottier shoved off by Verbeek. Still they fight for it, and Trottier emerges. He's got Crom breaking and Hope scoring, but it goes down on Burke. A half a minute from now, there will be a 6-second man advantage to the Islanders. Verbeek with a tap on to Kirk Muller. Checked by Trottier, but escapes. Taken to the corner by Norton. Trottier able to wind it away. And it is Morrow. Seen some aggressiveness, good physical play. Morrow's drive ricocheted, played back over to Norton. These two teams are grinding sorts of teams, and I'm just wondering if maybe the Islanders might prefer a physical game to one that would be calmer. Pass misses for Lauer. Burke swings it away. Loisel tries to move at it in stride, but Crom knocked the puck back and then rammed Loisel, but a fan on the shot by Bassett. Teams are at even strength, nearing the halfway point of this first period. Glad you're with us tonight on ESPN, and what a hit by McClain across the way on Lauer. stoppage of play because of an offside, but there may be more as Basson and McLean have a set two. Moving in is Lauer. Temperatures are cranked up a couple more notches. Peace seemingly restored with 9:57 to go in the first. Makala's goal, the only one.
You could be having a lot more fun this summer.
Low-scoring contest, 1-0. The Islanders have the lead, and there are a lot of numbers we want to examine that are probably representative of why this game is such a low score.
Well, goaltenders are obviously important. We talk about them all the time, so throughout the playoffs, we're going to try and track some numbers. There are the shots that they faced. Burke faced 11, Rudy 8. Quality shots, Burke faced 4, Rudy faced 1. Tough saves. Now, there are shots from the point that are screen shots that aren't in the quality shot zone that we are going to count. Look at that. 6 tough saves each. Total handles. They handled the puck with their stick. Burke 7, Rudy 5. That's what reminds me of Hextall. Burke moved it up the ice 5 times of the 7 times he handled it. Those up-ice moves.
It'll be interesting to chart that for the goaltenders through the playoffs at the various games that we're doing. Tomorrow night, Washington and the Philadelphia Flyers and Ron Hextall. Power play is on for the Islanders as this period begins. Mikko Makala plays it over for King. Oh, he threw it right through the crease, but they weren't able to connect with LaFontaine. Back ahead now comes Loisel for the shorthanded Devils. 44 seconds of power play time to the Islanders. They have the lead 1-0, and they move further with Makala. Shoving it to the point, arriving is King. Forehander saved by the pad of Burke. It is Driver watching at the front. Screen momentarily sent up by King, but he does not have a stick.
Well, he couldn't find it either. He was looking around for it. It took off. It's outside the blue line. Derek King was standing in front, and he all of a sudden shrugged as if, where's my stick?
He's in the play now, passing to Norton, then to Makala. Along to LaFontaine. Shovels back to Norton, able to reach it. Pulling away to his left is King, but he'll go to the right to LaFontaine. 5 seconds left as it came to Potvin, then LaFontaine once more. To Potvin. Shakes loose. Score!
Might have 34-year-old legs, Mike, but I'll tell you, he never has 34-year-old arms. And if you give him time in the slot, you want to see a good quality shot area? There's a wave of the stick at him. And Potvin goes by the defender and rifles a wrist shot right up over Sean Burke's shoulder. Nice feed by LaFontaine, but an excellent move by Denis Potvin to his forehand. And he just rifles it right up under the crossbar. Sean Burke looked as if he was going down a little bit. That's not his characteristic at all. He's a stand-up goalie. And that time when he went down, Denis just rifled it for the top corner.
Not a power play goal by a second. Another chance. And King's flip was off Danico. King pivoting. Hammered by Wolanin. Wood denied by Danico. Still they battle for it, and Sundstrom able to scoop it ahead. Islanders get one in the early stages of the first period at 5:44, and then 1 minute and 9 into the second, and they have the lead here at the Nassau County Coliseum. Their home ice 2-0. Banged out by Wolanin, directed further by Johnson. Leiter gives it up to Danico. Danico leaned on by Leiter, gets behind the net, took another hit, and the puck goes over to Gilbert. Conroy drills it too far for the reach of Leiter. Trying to keep is McLean, but Wood forced him off, and here is a chance for Gilbert. High with the shot. A penalty is coming up. Down on the ice is an Islander. LaFontaine once more is the guy down. Craig Smith, the trainer of the Islanders, out to take a look at him. As they tend to LaFontaine, will bow out for half a minute.
All across the country, people have places to go, things to do. So they go Midas for total car care. Need an alignment? We do that. Air conditioning? We do that. Brakes? We do that. Oil changes? We do that. Batteries too. Of course, mufflers. And we do all that with our certified technicians and our nationwide guarantee. So for total car care, who does it all? Midas. We do that.
Now you can own 13 days on the next generation of DVD.
We're talking about possible nuclear war.
13 days, now on Infinifilm DVD. Experience one of the best films of the year. Interact as special features take you beyond the movie. As you watch it, escape with historical documentaries, deleted scenes, and more incredible features that take you beyond the movie. 13 days, now on Infinifilm DVD. Preview at infinifilm.com.
You know, most men get pretty shook up about losing their hair. But today, many of them are learning about Bosley Medical. They use your own living hair to fill in the thin spots. Just look at that. It really works. You can treat it like real hair because it is real hair. Your own naturally growing hair. So you don't have to worry about it.
Bosley Medical is the world's most experienced hair restoration practice. For over 25 years, they have performed more than 130,000 procedures using the innovative micrografting techniques pioneered by founder Dr. L. Lee Bosley.
Each surgeon at Bosley Medical is board certified and individually trained by me.
So if you want to have your own naturally growing hair back, call this number for more information. We'll send you this free video and in-depth guidebook that gives you the real facts about hair restoration. There's no cost and absolutely no obligation. So do it for yourself. Call now and get the real results you've been looking for.
It's your real hair.
You can't do better than real.
The NHL.com network is going to get you Cup crazy. The new broadband TV section showcases the drama and passion of Stanley Cup playoffs past and present. Missed your team's game tonight? Check out the action by customizing your own highlights from the playoffs. And once Lord Stanley is raised, wear what the champions wear. Order your official locker room hat and t-shirt. Then relive the glory with the Stanley Cup Championship home video. Get Cup crazy with NHL.com. If it's Stanley Cup playoff hockey, it's here.
Well, it was Pat LaFontaine that was scurrying to get Greg Gilbert's rebound off that missed breakaway. Kirk Muller came from behind, hooked him. He is sitting for 2 minutes. There he is. That will give the Islanders a little bit of breathing room. Boy, if they can get another one by Burke, it'll really be a test of his concentration, you know, to see how he can hang in there under the onslaught. The Islanders, you can see them building and building. This will be a real strong test right now for a very young, playoff inexperienced Jersey Devils team.
That last power play that the Islanders had did result in a goal. Instead of our indicating that it was 1 second after the power play had ended, it was 1 second before it was scheduled to end. For that reason, the Islanders are 2 for 4 on the power play. They're on their 5th right now. Moving it out is Norton, the rookie. On to Trottier, the veteran. Then to Lauer. Lauer watched by Brown. Plays to Trottier. Loses to Belichick. Belichick trying to follow up again. Lost it to Trottier. Went right back out and knocked him down. Brown clears under the stick of Norton. Shift change for New Jersey. Coming off now, Loisel. And back on is Mark Johnson. That one shanked by Trottier. And out to get it is Burke. Spins it high. Lauer is waiting. But it's through him, Didick, and Johnson. Norton playing in neutral ice with 1:10 to go on the Islanders power play. 2-0 the score. We hope you're enjoying the coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight on ESPN. Tomorrow night, Philadelphia and Washington from the Cap Center, 7:30 Eastern. Play made by Sutter. Rolls it to Trottier. Centers, but it's off Belichick to Sutter. Trottier has a man at the point. Shakes it to the other side, though, to Didick. Then to Makela. Trottier once more. Cross ice to Norton. Back to Didick. Shot! Ooh, just tipped over the crossbar. Didick able to retrieve. Along to Trottier. Half a minute to go power play. Didick a drive. Save made by Burke, and it's swung away by Cirella. Still the Islanders keep. They work so hard seemingly to get their 1 or 2 shots. Rising shot by Makela off the glass. In comes Norton. Got away from most of the check of Belichick. Norton run at by Belichick. Loose one kicks away. Down to the last 8 seconds of the power play. Belichick bumps with Brent Sutter. Going after everyone now. Didick in deep. Centered one off Burke. Gotten by Makela. Penalty time up. The Devils knock it down. They've got a 3-on-2 developing. It is Johnson on to Kirk Muller. Watched by Potvin. Muller's shot is tipped to the seats by the veteran Denis Potvin. 4 minutes, 20 seconds gone in the second period. Islanders 2-0.
The thing I like the most about the DR chipper is the quality. This is a first-rate, what I would call industrial strength piece of machinery for a private homeowner.
The DR chipper is a wonderful machine. I can put a 20-foot long tree in it. It'll take the whole thing without bogging down.
DR chipper will do a heavy wood, a soft wood. I've done cherry, hollies, oaks. It does the job, and that's basically what people are going to put their money up. That's what they want. Something's going to do the job and do a good job, and that's DR.
You can try out a DR chipper for 30 days risk-free. Call 1-800-578-6363 for your free DR chipper catalog and video. There's no obligation, so call now, 1-800-578-6363.
Are you a real Ohio sports fan? Then get ready for 2 full days of Classic Ohio, and it's only on ESPN Classic. First, it's a last-second victory for the Buckeyes in the '97 Rose Bowl. Then, Ohio State's record-setting win in '93's Holiday Bowl. And Eddie Murray and the Indians battle the Braves in a World Series showdown from '95, plus much more. Classic Ohio starts Saturday and Sunday at noon only on ESPN Classic. Presented by Bud Light.
Henry angles, around it swirls near Basson. Blastered to the boards by Pat Verbeek, and Basson is slow to get up. Ahead now comes Maley. Hip checked away to the boards by Conroy. Puck spun back for Maley, and he's hammered by Henry. Oh, just some fierce checking in this game. LaFontaine battles with Verbeek, and the puck squibs to Conroy. Around to Kerr, just brushed by Driver. So the battle comes back to neutral ice. Pat Verbeek lays it for Maley, but it's tipped from him. Then flipped back along to Verbeek. Gave it up to Conroy, and Verbeek was buried by Leiter. Then down went Muller. Icing called, stopping the clock. 14:47 left here in the second, and the faceoff will be back near Rudy. The Devils came down the stretch playing 7 games in 11 nights and not losing a one. They've got to do the same thing now in this first round of the playoffs should it go 7.
And it looks as if they're going to have to face an Islanders power play that's really working. That last power play that the Islanders had, they maintained possession. Here's Bob Basson being attended to. Thought it was his leg at first, but he's rubbing his head. Here's the crunch by Patty Verbeek. Boom. Oh, you bet. He went head first. I thought he was limping off. Maybe the message wasn't getting there from his head to his legs is all it was, because he hit head first into the boards. But the Islanders power play, well, that tells you what the Devils are up against here, huh? There's too much going on. Will everybody just settle down so we can watch the hockey game?
We should mention that Pat Flatley is a scratch for the Islanders for the rest of the year, but he's not without his fans, and there's a 9-iron shot into the seats, and so there'll be a face-off to come to neutral ice. Makela, his first, of course, and Potvin. Both goals on that power play Bill mentioned has staked the Islanders to a 2-0 lead.
Pat's training for a summer job in baseball. Is that really you, Pat? With the Islanders power play, Mike, I was saying they're moving it around so well that they've developed many points of attack. Their passing is good. They seem very confident. And the more areas they can bring the attack from, create those points of attack, it is much harder for the Devils penalty killing to defend against. They end up twisted around, running all over the place. Tonight, the Islanders power play so far has been very impressive.
Joe Cirella from the faceoff, missed for Anderson. Ken Morrow, another member of that '80 Olympic team, works it on to Lauer. Then Morrow once more, this time to Norton. Norton with a backhand that's wide, and he showed some speed there. Puck chopped along by Shanahan, but taken by Norton. Rolled in deep for Crom, but there first is Velishek, who's seen a lot of action in this game thus far tonight. Along to Cirella, and then it's moved out Quickly ahead comes Patrick Sundstrom. The drop is for Anderson, and before he can let go, the big gun offside is...
Are you tired of overnighters that don't go over well? Or extra beds that take an extra set of hands just to set up? Then the Aero Extra Bed in a Minute is your dream come true. This amazing premium quality airbed automatically inflates itself, turning any room into a bedroom in just 1 minute. There's no hand pump, no foot pump, no pumping at all. Just plug it in, push the button, and the patented built-in pump instantly inflates the Aero bed in just 1 minute. It's so easy, it even unrolls itself. So BYOB, bring your own bed on vacation, on business trips, in your camper, on your boat, or even keep a spare in your car trunk. It's like sleeping on air, anytime, anywhere, even every night. The AeroBed gives you the same comfort and support of premium mattresses at only a fraction of the cost, with luxury features like the exclusive adjustable support sleep system and the one-touch comfort control that instantly adjusts the bed from soft to firm while you stay in bed. Plus, the AeroBed deflates in about 5 seconds for easy storage, using 80% less space than a rollaway bed. The Aero Extra Bed in a Minute is non-allergenic and easy to clean. And best of all, it uses all your standard size linens. Your AeroBed comes complete with the attached electric airflow pump, the one-touch comfort controls, and patented quick-release deflation valve, all for just 4 easy payments of only $33. But listen to this. If you call within the next 30 minutes, we'll take off an entire payment. Through this special television offer, you'll receive the AeroBed for just 3 easy payments of $33. Plus, as a special bonus, we'll give you this convenient carrying bag absolutely free. Get your credit card ready and call the toll-free number on your screen now, or send check or money order to the address shown. You can get the Aero Extra Bed in a Minute sleep system for just 3 easy payments of $33, plus shipping and handling, with a full 30-day money-back guarantee. And if you call right now, we'll even give you the carrying bag absolutely free. Call the toll-free number on your screen now.
I wonder if young Turgeon might turn into one of those playoff heroes that we were talking about. He didn't have much of a season, but he didn't have a bad season. He's still only 18 years old, so we'll watch his progress. He is playing for Jim Schoenfeld's old team, one of his old teams, but I think people remember Schoenfeld for his years in Buffalo. What a tough guy he was to play against, and he came to play every night, never took a night off.
Schoenfeld, 17-12-1 since coming on as coach of the New Jersey Devils. Greg Wolanin for his team flops it into the glove of Kelly Rudy. It's Diddick, pursued by Conacher. Puck dropped off to Potvin. Shoveled along by King, but he can't get further. And Doug Brown rolls it back for Loisel. Tried to chop one in front, but it's broken up and thrown back down the ice by Diddick. Watching it is Burke. Over the end line it goes. Is Danico there first? No. First was Wood, so no icing. Brown outlets, but misses for his man. That was Loisel. LaFontaine flipped one that can be taken by Danico. Turns it on to Conacher. But Diddick throws back, and Conacher follows up. It is Rudy moving toward him as Brown, so he hurriedly spun it, but by Potvin. King is there. Second effort gets it free at center ice to LaFontaine. Headman's on to Randy Wood. Drops it for LaFontaine. Gets away from Conacher's check. Almost finessed by Kerbers, but it is now laid back out by Conacher. Leiter goes back down. It is short of icing, so there'll be no stoppage of play. Oh, and what a thump put on by John McClain. It is Gilbert outletting for Makela. It's Trottier trying to return to Makela. It's carried in by Gilbert with 2 men in the zone, an offside call. 12:45 to go in the second period. Islanders still ahead here.
The bow. Resistance becomes strength. Becomes power. The power to change and reshape your entire body. This is Bowflex, an entire gem-in-one easy-to-use machine. So powerful, it delivers over 60 health club quality exercises with up to 410 pounds of resistance in any room in your home. Strength training with Bowflex is so effective that we guarantee you'll get the results you want in 6 weeks or less. One simple workout. 20 minutes a day, 3 days a week. Bowflex is real. The results are real. And you can own one with no money down and payments as low as $33 per month. Call right now for a free video and brochure. Bowflex, the power is yours.
In a world where financial services come in shades of gray, ING Direct introduces the Orange Savings Account, where everyone earns the same high 4.75% rate, with no minimum balance requirements and no fees. Still think there's a catch? There isn't one. You just didn't have a choice before. Call 1-800-ING Direct for great rates with no minimums and no fees. 1-800-ING Direct.
This Sunday on ESPN Classic, two brothers in a race against time.
So what are you trying to do, be a one-minute brother?
You got to tell him, Marcus. I can't, Dennis. Not now.
And a bike race that could bring them together or separate them forever.
I'm gonna make him bleed before I beat him.
Kevin Costner in a real classic, American Flyers. 9 Eastern this Sunday, only on ESPN Classic. Sponsored by Circuit City.
Those are the monitors for our game coverage as well as the monitors for all of the other games. The other 7 are coming into Control Center at Bristol. And yes, Tom Mees does have some help in watching them all. And he'll be updating us off and on throughout the evening through all of these playoffs, especially busy he is in this first round. Johnson a drive that went wide. Wolanin keeps. Second effort denied. Ahead comes Gilbert on a 2-on-1 with Makela. Danico back. Nice break up by Ken Danico on the dive. Back with it comes Mark Johnson. Hooked at by Trottier. McLean flings it over to Sundstrom. Out in front, Wolanin. He scores! Greg Wolanin. And it's 2-1, the Islanders.
I can't tell you how often this happens where a 2-on-1, a power break happens at one end. A great defensive play by Kenny Danico to break up the 2-on-1. It was Gilbert and Makela right down to the other end. Wolanin, who is Danico's partner, who is the guy that originally got caught up ice to give the Islanders the 2-on-1, scores on an outstanding feed by Sundstrom. Patrick Sundstrom threads it to him in the slot. You can see that the Islanders defender, it's Kenny Morrow, he sagged back in a little deep. He's about 10-15 feet off of Wolanin, and Wolanin just one-times a little slider off the post, and the Devils are alive. They've closed the gap. It's now 2-1 for the Islanders. Tough shot. No way Billy Smith could have stopped it. Nice low shot right off the post.
Big Greg Wolanin, native of Detroit, collects his first playoff goal in his first playoff game on the Devils' first shot of the second period. 12:08 left in the second. Islanders 2-1. Verbeek checked by Brent Sutter. Got it loose, but was surrounded by red, white, and green. Here's Kerr, hooked at. Tried to get a shot away and couldn't. Verbeek hustles away. It's played to Muller. He's sandwiched, though, against the boards by Norton. Kirk Muller able to escape. Plays it further to Curvers. Curvers a drive. Oh, and that one ricocheted off Rudy to Henry. Wedged to the corner is Rudy by Aaron Broughton. Trying to jam it away is Verbeek. Gets it to Muller. Stood up and then thrown down to the checking of Ken Morrow. The puck winds up underneath, and that causes the whistle of Andy Van Hellemond. And Verbeek now with a little right in the direction of Norton, and Alan Kerr comes in from behind.
Well, you know, this is going to happen all night long if the teams try and establish their forechecking game. The Devils haven't been able to. Boy, the heavyweights are getting in there now. Curvers a straight left to the jaw of Norton. Are they going to go? They're in a bear hug. There's 8. Norton for the Islanders, and 5 for the Devils is Curvers. He's the man facing us. There was a good play by Curvers coming through the neutral zone that started this whole rush off, Mike. The Islanders have been very successful so far in stopping that big Devils line, that big Muller line. So what do? Start bringing the defensemen up wide. It's going to end up working if they keep it going.
Someday I'm going to be a movie star. But right now, this is my only agent. So when my brother in Miami sends cash for rent, I just walk around the corner.
When loved ones need to send or receive cash, location really is everything.
I love L.A. The sun, the stars, and a Western Union agent location everywhere.
Only Western Union has over 90,000 agent locations worldwide.
This is the one place in town you can always count on for a happy ending.
Western Union, the fastest way to send money worldwide.
This is an ordinary cell phone. This is Nextel, and it's going to change the way you do business thanks to Direct Connect, its digital two-way radio feature. Frank, you see it? Not yet. It ensures instant contact. Bridget,
Got it.
Cost a fraction of cellular. It just passed. And it makes other cell phones...
Ready, now.
obsolete.
Nextel Direct Connect, the digital two-way radio feature that lets you get right through.
Can your radio do this? Only one radio can give you stereo sound this big, yet is small enough to fit almost anywhere. The extraordinary Wave Radio from Bose. Press the remote control and hear big, rich sound that fills the room. Sounds so rich, Popular Science called it a sonic marvel. You hear music the way it was meant to be heard. Clear, full, incredibly lifelike. You've got to hear the Wave Radio to believe it. And now you can, satisfaction guaranteed. Call toll-free to hear it in your home. Ask about our popular interest-free payment plan. Experience big stereo sound from a radio. Call today.
With our 12-month payment plan, the Wave Radio CD is just $41.58 a month.
Does it get any better than sudden death overtime in the Stanley Cup playoffs? I think not.
Curvers, Verbeek, Henry, and Kerr. 2 players aside get minor penalties, and I would imagine out of that flurry they're all for roughing. Jim Schoenfeld yelling out in the direction of the referee. Not many 500 coaches get fired, but Jim Schoenfeld did with the Buffalo Sabres. There you see Terry Simpson at the Islanders bench. Jim left a job with an upstate New York mattress company in the middle of the year to return to coaching. Boy, it's been easy for me to say.
That's right.
Try successful, Bill.
It's also tough to sell those mattresses in the wintertime in Buffalo, New York. No, he wasn't a mattress salesman. He was their spokesperson and represented the company. He wanted to get back into coaching, let the word out. Didn't take long for Lou Lamoriello to jump on him.
It is Crom, chased by Wolanin. Right back for Crom, pursued by Shanahan. Boy, they're going to feel this tomorrow. Shanahan starts it back, lays it on to Broughton, then to Kirk Muller. Muller moving in, but Shanahan was in early, and the puck must be over the blue line before the attacking team. If not, offside is called, and that's what happened in that case.
How to cut your monthly bills by as much as 50% or more.
Hi, I'm Bob Vila. Sometimes, no matter how hard you work at it, you just can't seem to make ends meet. You're writing those checks every month, and you just barely have enough money to pay your bills, much less save anything. Want to change all that? Here's how. Call Home 123. They can help you cut your monthly bills by as much as 50%. Let's say these are some of your monthly payments. Home 123 can show you how to turn all those payments into one low monthly payment that could be as little as half of what you're paying now. In this example, that would be almost $500 in monthly savings. Just think what you could do with money like that. You could make it happen right now with one call. If you own your home, call Home 123. Even if your credit isn't exactly perfect, they'll come up with a loan that's right for you. Call now and see how easy it can be to make ends meet. There's no obligation, so call this number now to speak to the loan counselors at Home 123. It's how to get the money you need.
Sports Century, Tiger Woods. What can you say that hasn't already been said?
I'm here to win. How long can he keep doing this?
All inspired. He doesn't accept second. Prodigies
I want to win all the big tournaments.
are not normal. He was the one that selected golf.
We thought he was very cocky.
The hostility.
Just because of the color of my skin. Racism. Death threat. I get kicked off a number of golf courses. He is threatening to monopolize.
No one lasts forever.
I came here to win.
I would love rivaling Tiger Woods.
Sports Century, Tiger Woods, 8 p.m. tomorrow on ESPN Classic.
Third period about to begin in the narrowest of margins between these two teams. 2-1 in favor of the Islanders as Verbeek got it to Broughton, who directed one wide. Broughton rolls back for Kirk Muller. Muller checked by Conroy. Out to get it is Rudy. There'll be a penalty coming up. delayed call is on, and now the whistle blown. Andy Van Hellemond will take an Islander, and an angry one at that, and Brent Sutter to the box, and the Devils get a chance to tie it with the man advantage.
Absolute perfect timing for the Devils to get back into this hockey game. Here's a look at the cumulative numbers. New York Islanders, and that's the difference at the top. 2 for 7. Total time 9:14. Attack zone time 3:50. Not real strong. 7 shots, not bad. Quality shots 3 average. Point shots 1 average. But look at the top. 2 for 7. That has been the difference in the game. The Devils, they've had a tough time. The Islanders have been strong killing penalties. Only 2:15 in the attack zone time. That's about 25%. Tough to score, real tough to score. So that has been the difference thus far in this hockey game.
We've talked a great deal about the big line for the New Jersey Devils, Broughton, Verbeek, and Muller. In the course of the evening, not really called the name of Verbeek too often.
No, well, we haven't called any of the names that often. One of the problems, I think, has been the fact that there have been so many penalties. Even the top lines need to establish a rhythm, shift in, shift out at even strength. Nobody has had the opportunity to do that. I don't think that line has been able to get on track to establish that rhythm tonight.
Well, they're out there right now on this power play. Kerber's in back along with Craig Wolanin. Trottier on the draw with Broughton. Norton moving to it, is able to sidestep one man and move out. The play comes over to Crom. Has he got a step? Backhander is fought off by Burke. Turning it back is Kerber's. Along now to Muller. Oh, man, was he ever hit by Trottier, and the puck shot out of play.
How is that not a charging penalty? Boy, I got to tell you, Andy Van Hellemond was right there. To me, it looked like Brian Trottier came from New Jersey all the way across the Hudson and then the East River to run right at him. Boom. And he got it, got the arms up in his face. Who was that, Kirk Muller? Exactly who it was. Yes. Kirk Muller that went down. They've been going at each other pretty well all night long when they've had a chance. Here's Crom breaking in on a reasonable angle. He got a good backhand away. That had a lot of velocity for a very small windup. Hit Sean Burke up high, and as usual, he's got defensemen there to help him. You can see the little Band-Aid under Crom's eye. That was from his altercation with Perry Anderson in the second period.
Devils step on this power play. Pat Verbeek moves in. Booming into him was Norton, but Norton gave way. Now it's Wolanin on back to Kerber's. Big drive, and that blocked off by Morrow. Kerber just comes right back with the play to Wolanin. Directly in front is Muller, and that shot got through to Rudy. It is cleared, though not out. They keep play moving with Wolanin handing on to Kerber's. A shot ricocheted to the corner, but it is hoisted behind by Verbeek to Muller. Muller plays to Broughton. To the back to Wolanin. Over to Broughton. One-time drive is snared by Kelly Rudy.
Here we go again. Interesting execution by the Devils on this power play. Kerber's number 5, instead of being back on the blue line, waiting to take a shot, was setting a pick. There he is, number 5 for the Devils. See him picking one of the Islanders? They move it over to Aaron Broughton, who one-times it at Kelly Rudy. Pretty tough to beat Rudy's glove. You can see one of the Devils in midair plunging for the rebound, if there is one. In this case, there wasn't one. There's Kerber's dead center of your screen setting the pick. Here's the one-timer. No, that wasn't an intentional plunge for the rebound, was it? An unforced dive.
Ken Morrow had a helping hand. Trottier on the face-off with Kirk Muller. The line has stayed out there. We're halfway through this power play. Early in the third period, our game tonight on ESPN. Our coverage beginning tonight, extending through the month of May until the Stanley Cup is hoisted aloft. Puck jammed back along by Kirk Muller. He'll take over. Down to 45 seconds on the power play. There'll be another penalty coming up to the Islanders. It will be a 5-on-3 for New Jersey for the second time of the game. In case there was any question about how tight the referees were going to be, Andy Van Hellemond has answered with an exclamation point tonight.
Well, it's an interference penalty to Brian Trottier. There he is, 19 in white. Oh, he's holding Pat Verbeek's stick. You can see him grab the stick just as he went out of frame on the right. That's a gutsy call. I mean, all season long, when officials said they were going to call stick holding, sometimes they let it go. Watch this. There's the stick holding. Oh, he pulls it right out of his hands and threw it away. Great call.
Second 5-on-3 of the night for the New Jersey Devils, who trail in the game by 1. Trottier and Sutter, two of the heart guys for the New York Islanders, are restricted to the penalty box. 40 seconds on the first minor penalty, and of course 2 full minutes up on Trottier. Broughton directing some traffic. He wants Wolanin to move over. Muller and Verbeek have remained out through the first minute 20 of the power play, and they could log all the time. Puck tapped back to Driver, over to Wolanin. A shot ricocheted off Conroy. LaFontaine trying to get to it and clears. Driver hustles back to play. Now the iron 3 for the Islanders are Morrow and Conroy on defense. LaFontaine up front. 20 seconds from now, the first penalty will be over. And that little poke check by Morrow just helped out to deflect the Devils from getting back in and getting some power going here. And that check by LaFontaine succeeds in killing off the remaining time. Burke shovels on to Wolanin. 2 seconds. 1 second. Sutter is out. 5-on-4 power play. Verbeek sidesteps Morrow's check. Feeds on to Muller. Muller pivots. Broughton trying to shake free in front. The puck goes to the back to Kerbers. Wrist shot slowed by Verbeek. Cleared by Conroy.
Boy, some penalty killing displays tonight in this first game of the Patrick Division semifinals. This is the third 5-on-3, the second one for the Devils. The Islanders have had one full 5-on-3, and the penalty killing's been great.
Kerr passes. Driver takes right back along with it. Mark Johnson. Big drive. That blocked off by Potvin, who is hurt. Whistle not blown yet. Devils keep play going. Fans want a whistle from Van Helleman. Driver on to McLean. Rolls in front. And now the injury whistle blown.
I don't even have to see a replay. I can tell you where he got hit. Right on top of the kneecap when he went down. The pants only come down so far. The shin pad only comes up so far. And as much padding as you can put in there, it's still a real vulnerable place to get hit. Right on the knee. Right on the knee. Because whatever equipment is there, when you go down and bend your leg, you bring the equipment tight against your skin and against the bone, so that it will carry right through any equipment that you have there, right against the muscle, the quadricep muscle, and also the kneecap. And it hurts. Big time. Big time.
Greg Smith, the trainer, is out with Denis Potvin. At least now up to all fours, but oh yeah.
That is an area that you can bruise badly enough to keep you out of the lineup. Right on top of that left knee. What a warhorse, though. Oh, yes. The master. Denis Potvin scored more points than any defenseman in the history of the National Hockey League. Mr. All-Star, Mr. Everything for so many years.
He was a part of this team when they weren't making the playoffs every year. As a rookie, they were just terrible. They were called Torrey's Turkeys.
And this is the kind of effort that goes into killing off 5-on-3 penalties. Going down and blocking the shots. Sacrifice. That's what the playoffs is all about. Sacrifice. And that man right there, Denis Potvin, laid his body down for the team.
But boy, has Bill Torrey built something here. 16 of the 20 players in the lineup are his own draft picks. 4 Stanley Cups, divisional championship this year. That's the 7th one since they even had the Patrick division. And you see Brent Sutter about to cross sticks with Mark Johnson.
Boy, you also see Kenny Morrow already jousting, crossing sticks with John McLean off to the side.
McLean, the man who got them here. And Morrow, the man who has scored a couple of overtime winners in previous Islander conquests in the playoffs. Peace restored. Mark Johnson is in to draw with Sutter. 17:01 to go. Regulation time. 2-1 in favor of the Islanders. Devils with a one-man advantage. Drive by Johnson is patted away by Rudy and cleared by Sutter. You talked about special teams at the top of the show, Bill, and we've seen quite an exhibition of them tonight. Little wave of the stick draws a reaction. Is on with this now, and to toss it in is Johnson. Ken Morrow goes slogging back. Tried to clear it along, but it came back to Johnson. Hurriedly over to Kerbers, then to Driver. Missed for Johnson. Puck loose and gathered in by Morrow. Morrow clears. Driver keeps it from going the length. And an offside call. Penalty box empty. 16:23 to go in the third. Islanders 2, Devils 1.
A few years ago, a 69-year-old man showed up for the season opener in Detroit. But he wasn't there to watch the game. That night, Gordie Howe became the only player in the history of professional hockey to play in 6 decades.
Hey, nothing beats an original. Original Coors, brewed with Rocky Mountain water.
Original Coors, best on ice.
Watch closely. This amazing titanium tip drill bit is actually moving sideways to do what no other drill bit could ever do. It's yours when you put the power of titanium in your hands with Titan Master XL. The amazing new titanium tip drill bits that are so strong they'll never wear out. Guaranteed. Titan Master XL drill bits fit any drill, and their titanium tips give them the indestructible power to cut through virtually any surface. When you order your Titan Master XL drill set, you'll get 17 titanium tip drill bits of all sizes. Use them on wood, masonry, drywall, metal, you name the job, and Titan Master XL has it covered. You'll also receive the amazing Titan Master XL drill saw that turns any drill into a multi-function saw. The drill saw can be moved from side to side to turn small holes into big ones, smooth out squares and rectangles, cut straight line openings, and even sever materials in half. And you can turn your drill into a screwdriver with this Titan Master XL converter, which includes 6 flat and Phillips head screwdriver bits. Plus, you'll never have trouble finding the right size drill bit because the Titan Master XL drill set comes complete with this handy carrying case. And now, the Titan Master XL drill set can be yours for only $19.95. Call in the next 10 minutes, and we'll also include this complete set of 300 screws and fasteners of all sizes. The Titan Master XL drill set is so indestructible, it's backed by a lifetime warranty. If any of the drill bits ever break, we'll replace them absolutely free. You get 17 titanium tip drill bits, the titanium drill saw, screwdriver converter, 6 screwdriver bits, 300 screws and fasteners, and heavy-duty carrying case. That's 325 pieces in all for only $19.95. Order now.
To order your set of Titan Master XL drill bits, have your credit card ready and call toll-free 1-800-909-2800 or send check or money order for $19.95 plus $6.95 shipping and handling to Titan Master, 6960 Eastgate Boulevard, Lebanon, Tennessee. For quicker service, call 1-800-909-2800.
ESPN Classic is going back in time to Jordan and Miller's famous down-to-the-wire battle from '98. Tonight at 9, only on ESPN Classic. This is ESPN Classic.
Makela and Potvin, the goals for the Islanders. Wolanin for New Jersey, as Conacher nearly broke the play up, but on with it scoots Pat LaFontaine. LaFontaine tripped up on the defense by Joe Cirella, who looks back, thought there might be a penalty. There's not. Randy Belichick starts it back out for New Jersey. Rudy tips, then hoists it away, but there to get it is Conacher. Hurries it back along for Loisel. Back to Conacher. Couldn't get a shot away. Bothered all the way by Norton. And Norton starts it right back up. Has King on the wing and gives to him. Here's King moving on Cirella. Shoved off to the corner boards and glass. In case you're just joining us, this has been a physical hockey game from the very beginning. Loisel wraps it back along. Conroy sends it in deep. Back for Conroy, but flipped back out by Joe Cirella. So it's Morrow going back to play this. One of the rare icing calls in the contest. Stops the clock with 15:15 left in the third.
You know, most men get pretty shook up about losing their hair. But today, many of them are learning about Bosley Medical. They use your own living hair to fill in the thin spots. Just look at that. It really works. You can treat it like real hair because it is real hair. Your own naturally growing hair. So you don't have to worry about it.
Bosley Medical is the world's most experienced hair restoration practice. For over 25 years, they have performed more than 130,000 procedures using the innovative micrografting techniques pioneered by founder Dr. L. Lee Bosley.
Each surgeon at Bosley Medical is board certified and individually trained by me.
So if you want to have your own naturally growing hair back, call this number for more information. We'll send you this free video and in-depth guidebook that gives you the real facts about hair restoration. There's no cost and absolutely no obligation. obligation. So do it for yourself. Call now and get the real results you've been looking for.
It's your real hair.
You can't do better than real.
Barkley for three!
27-year-old Steffi Graf, Wimbledon champion. The Super Bowl most valuable player is Troy Aikman. 1 second on the clock. Dallas touchdown. Face off near Burke. Puck rolled along by Henry. It's picked away from a pair by Wolanin. Wolanen's pass knocked down by Kerr, then flipped high by Wolanin. Bringing it on now is Craig Wolanin with a pass up the wing for Broughton. That dropped off by Conroy. Verbeek loses to Sutter, who shoots back down. Burke there turns it away, so there'll be no icing. Sutter checked by Verbeek, and a shot ricocheted off the glass by Conroy. Alan Kerr with one in front, and just missing with the reach was Brent Sutter. So it is Verbeek bringing it back for New Jersey. Hands it on to Broughton. Sidesteps Sutter's checking, turns it to Danico. Danico moving in with Broughton headed up the wing, but the toss was off the glass. Verbeek taps back. Conroy rushed by Broughton. Then a hit by Verbeek on Conroy. Brent Sutter with a little trickler on to Alan Kerr. Brings it up with Henry. It's a 2-on-3. Henry seemed to cross early, but play continues without an offside, and there'll be a penalty coming out. Verbeek touches up. The Islanders will get a power play. We'll be right back.
Roundup. It will be your greatest enemy when you take over the weed family.
Me? Leave the family?
New Roundup is stronger, faster. It kills to the root.
So when I take over, we'll all be dead?
New Roundup. No root, no weed, no problem.
Remember when the songs made you smile?
Hey there, Georgie girl, swinging down the street so fancy-free. Sneaking out from under a stairway.
Now you can enjoy all your favorite songs again in one incredible collection.
Don't sleep in the subway, darling. Don't stand in the pouring rain. Slow down, you move too fast. You got to make the morning last.
Presenting AM Gold. 44 classic hits on 2 CDs or 2 double-length cassettes for only $12.99.
Yesterday my life was filled with rain.
Then audition other AM Gold albums. There's no minimum to buy. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. AM Gold is not in stores. 44 of your favorite songs for only $12.99. Call now.
To order AM Gold, call 1-800-535-7300 or send $12.99 for 2 cassettes or 2 CDs, plus $3.99 shipping and handling to AM Gold, Department 16, Richmond, Virginia 23280.
The NHL.com network is going to get you cup crazy. The new broadband TV section showcases the drama and passion of Stanley Cup playoffs past and present. Missed your team's game tonight? Check out the action by customizing your own highlights from the playoffs. And once Lord Stanley is raised, wear what the champions wear. Order your official locker room hat and t-shirt. Then relive the glory with the Stanley Cup Championship home video. Get cup crazy with NHL.com. If it's Stanley Cup playoff hockey, it's here.
May have been a little credit balance owing the Islanders, too.
You bet. After the Sorella non-call, you mean?
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
Norton over to Potvin. It's Makala, who has been absent except for the power play to our recollection. Makala still being watched closely by Sorella. Gets it back from King. Gives it to Potvin. Potvin shot. Hit someone in front. And is cleared, though not successfully, by Johnson. Second time, shouldered down by Norton. And here's Johnson starting down the right side again. Johnson crosses, but Denis Potvin was there this time, and the veteran on defense just takes him casually out of the play. 1:20 to go on the power play. Puck laid back on the stick of Potvin. Drops it on to Makela. Last minute Mikko, as he's named for some of the big finishes. Shook by one. Spun around in front, and it'll be a 5-on-3 coming up for the Islanders.
You believe this? A 5-on-3 with 13 minutes to go in the third period. Another one, but that was a good call. What a move by Makela to get even in close enough where one of the Devils players had to drag him down. I mean, Claude Loisel was left very little choice once. Makela, watch this move. There's one. Now watch this next one to his forehand. He's going wide. No, he's not going wide. He hoops Randy Velacek. Loisel is trying to make some headway and catching him. And there's the pull. Now that was far more flagrant a penalty or an infraction than the first one that Van Hellemond called. But if he's going to be consistent, he can't very well let that one go after he called that one on Curvers a minute ago.
Loisel a hold at 6:44. That's elapsed time in this period. Jim Schoenfeld watching from the New Jersey bench. The iron three for the Devils. Brown, Driver, and Danico. LaFontaine will have King on his left, on his right Makela, and they'll keep Leiter and Potvin back at the points. And Burke will just seal this one up. Let's go back to Tom Mees.
All right, Mike, in Landover, Maryland, Washington Capitals desperately trying to tie up the Flyers at 3-2, but here comes the dreaded empty net goal off the stick of Murray Craven. He scores. The Flyers take back the home ice advantage. They win game one, 4-2. In the third period, the Caps outshot the Flyers 18-5, but the Flyers win the game 4-2. Ryan Murray and the Caps on the hot seat again. Will be there tomorrow night. Let's go back for a score by the Islanders.
A tip in by Mr. Clutch. Pat LaFontaine, he's come up with another big one. And there will still be a 5-on-4 unless someone for the Islanders steps out of line in this confrontation.
Well, that outstanding penalty killing can only hang on so long when you're down 2 men. The Devils have had all kinds of holes to climb out of tonight, but the Islanders have as well. Here's Potvin back on the point. See what happens when you have the 2 men at the top of the triangle. We talked earlier and said that if one guy's in front of the net, all you have to do is direct a little rubber that way. You know you're going to have 2 men there. Sure enough, look, LaFontaine and King. So the Islanders got real smart on this 5-on-3 and just directed it towards the net. Dennis Potvin didn't try and score on that shot. He tried to look for somebody. Boy, it worked great. The Islanders have a 3-1 lead.
And they've got a chance to build on it. Still a minute and 46 to go on their 5-on-4 power play. Makela gets one assist. Denis Potvin gets the other one. So Potvin has been involved in all 3 Islanders goals tonight. He has a goal and 2 assists on the evening. Lauer steps ahead for the Islanders. Drops one in that's directed by Burke. Retrieved by Trottier in front. Oh, and a good backhand shot by Brent Sutter. Puck back to Norton. Norton spins it back off. It's shoveled by Lauer to Trottier, then back to Norton. Has to regroup with the Islanders at center ice because he couldn't hold in at the blue line. Remember, they regroup because the puck must be the first thing across that blue line as they attack. When it comes back out, they must reshuffle things at center ice and get back across. Offside is called that time. Still a minute 7 to go on the power play. Later, Bill and I will pick the Hartford player of the game, and Tom will have the 7-up play of the night. And he's got to sort through some pretty good ones from all around the league. But he'll have it for you. Because that man is a guy who watches all these games and just has one of those minds that can categorize and filter and make a decision.
And there is the man who I think will have his name more prominent than any player's name in the newspapers around the New York area tomorrow. That was Andy Van Hellemond, the referee tonight. He has made a stand. He has taken a stand from the time this game started. Andy Van Hellemond has called virtually every infraction that we have seen on the ice, and it has turned into, to my way of thinking, Mike, kind of a bizarre playoff game. And I think that it may have favored the New York Islanders only because they have a more balanced attack. They just keep coming at you, coming at you.
Good chance there by Johnson.
And I don't think that kind of game where there are so many power plays, 5-on-3s, would really hurt the Islanders as much as the Devils with their big line never being able to get any kind of rhythm going. Here's a 2-on-1 though.
Curvers missed on the pass back for Sundstrom. And it is Leiter starting it back to Pat LaFontaine. King along with him, but play breaks down and then is followed up. Alan Kerr. Kerr pivoting from Curvers. This is Gerald Diddick in deep. Centers one, but it's right to Johnson, who lifts it back away. 7 seconds to go on the power play. Kelly Rudy out to swing it ahead. That pass was across 2 lines, so with 3 seconds left on the man advantage, we'll have a face-off back in the Islanders zone. This has been a physical game tonight from the very outset.
I think that has favored the Islanders too. Terry Simpson, when we talked to him this morning, we asked him if the Islanders play better in physical games, and he said yes, I think so. Here's a look at the 2-on-1, the ill-fated 2-on-1. Asked him if the Islanders play better in physical games, and he said yes, but we're not usually the initiators. We are usually the reactors to a physical game. Well, these guys that you're looking at now, the New Jersey Devils, they like to play a physical kind of game. So in sticking to what they do best, playing a physical kind of game, they're kind of playing into the New York Islanders' hands. In other words, when teams wake up the Islanders and engage them in physical confrontations, the Islanders play better. So it's a catch-22 situation, kind of, I think, in this series for the Devils. They'd be best not to play physical, but in doing that, they're taking away one of their big assets.
That's an interesting point. I'm sure we'll see some physical hockey tomorrow night at the Cap Center. Philadelphia with a victory there tonight over the Washington Capitals. So they've, if you want to look at it that way, kind of won back a home ice advantage. They've taken one from the road. Bouncing puck comes in on Burke, and Burke decided to put it in play and then didn't and then did, and gets a vote of confidence on this one from Andy Van Hellemond. There'll be no penalty. Bruce Driver behind his own net for New Jersey. His team is down by 2 with 10 minutes and 50 seconds to go in regulation time of game 1. Diddick rolls Shanahan along the wall. Puck played on to Crom. Crom lays it up the wing for Lauer. Driver moving on him. Lauer trying to get by. Taken down. Puck comes over to Crom. Crom spins one in front, but that cut off. And here come the Devils hustling out. Curvers advances it to Shanahan. Has Curvers up the wing. Gets it to him. Save made by Rudy. Wonderful play by the Islanders goaltender. It's still 3-1, his team.
The thing I like the most about the DR chipper is the quality. This is a first-rate, what I would call industrial strength piece of machinery for a private homeowner.
The DR chipper is a wonderful machine. I can put a 20-foot long tree in it. It'll take the whole thing without bogging down.
DR chipper will do a heavy wood, a soft wood. I've done cherry, hollies, oaks. It does the job, and that's basically what people are going to put their money up. That's what they want. Something's going to do the job and do a good job, and that's DR.
You can try out a DR chipper for 30 days risk-free. Call 1-800-578-6363 for your free DR chipper catalog and video. There's no obligation, so call now, 1-800-578-6363.
Tomorrow night at 7, you've watched his every move, but do you know Tiger Woods?
I give it everything I have and no regrets.
ESPN Classic brings you inside Tiger's world with Night of the Tiger. First, take an in-depth look at a legend at work this season, Tiger Woods at the 2001 U.S. Open.
He's proved that if you cut him, he bleeds.
Then at 8, meet the man behind the athlete on Sports Century, Tiger Woods.
Other golfers want to win. Tiger expects to win.
Night of the Tiger, 7 p.m. tomorrow, only on ESPN Classic.
Outstanding save as we left you by Kelly Rudy. Nice feed by this man, their 19-year-old rookie, Brendan Shanahan, who is going down but is able to still thread it right through to Tom Curvers. Watch Rudy move over to face him. That's a tough play, too. He's waiting for Denis Potvin, number 5 in white, to cut that pass. You always can't count on it every time. Sometimes the pass gets through. Kelly Rudy was ready for it. He was in perfect position to meet Curvers and made an outstanding save.
Puck dumped in deep. Alan Kerr tests with Danico. And with it is Muller. We are charting such things as tough saves tonight, and that certainly has to qualify. On now is Broughton, trying to one-handedly shake through Norton and couldn't. Punched away by Rudy. Danico can't get it to the front. A 2-on-1. Henry, the winger, with Kerr. In back is Wolanin trying to catch up Danico. Just enough to check him off. Henry able to retrieve. Tried to wind it in deep, but it's brought back up by Kirk Muller. The line is out for New Jersey. Muller, Verbeek, and Broughton. Muller, the centerman. Puck driven right back along. Henry checks. Second time, dropped the gloves, wanted to go after Cirella, who glares back at him, as meanwhile the puck is being played, as you see, back in the Devils zone. Belichick's pass tipped across two lines by Aaron Broughton, and so we'll have another halt to play with 9:20 to go in the third.
So what do you do with this big line? There's Aaron Broughton. He plays on the big line with Verbeek and Muller. Well, one thing Terry Simpson has wanted to do all game long is keep, at least at even strength, Brent Sutter's line out there, along with Henry and either Lauer or Crom. Alan Kerr has played a lot with Brent Sutter. Mostly it's been Kerr along with Henry and Sutter. They've done an excellent job at even strength in bottling up the line. And the area that they seem to have bottled them up the most in is in the neutral zone. The big Muller line is best in the offensive zone. So the key is keeping them out of your end of the ice, because that is their offensive zone. The Islanders have been real successful in that respect and haven't allowed these guys to show off their skills. Let Verbeek work along the boards. Let Muller stick handle. Let him feed Broughton, who's got great hands as well. They've kept that big line out of their own end most of the night.
And of course, maybe some of you are wondering, well, why don't they spread out the scoring a little bit by breaking up the big line? That just doesn't happen automatically. They actually tried it for a couple of games this year, the Devils, and was so unproductive that they put the three back together again. The jousting involves LaFontaine and Cirella. LaFontaine nearly willed one home. Scramble at the front of the net. Big tie up there. Puck comes back, and it is brushed by Conroy. A shot by King, and another one. And back out from all of this chaos emerged the Devils with Sundstrom beating up the wing for McLean, broken down at the Islanders line, and across it comes to Derek King, who slows things down by just dropping it back in. What a flurry around Sean Burke. 8:30 to go in the third. Burke's Devils are trailing the Islanders by a score of 3-1. Gilbert fights his way to the corner and then is hit by Curvers. Punched back out by Johnson. Johnson tries to step further. Puck right back in, and on with it is Gilbert, but tapped from him. Perry Anderson back on the wing for John McLean. McLean the shot, and that hopped around the boards for Curvers' drive across the goal mouth wide. Turning with this is Driver. Slugs one that tipped off a skate, came in front, and is turned in by Maley. Wow. May have gotten a stick instead of the skate, as I indicated. I think it hit an Islander stick and caromed over.
Well, before it even got to Maley, Mike, I think it might have gone off Perry Anderson, but it was like a pinball type of reaction. It hit two or three people, and finally Maley was able to get it towards the net. Let's watch it from the point. Bruce Driver's shot. I think he broke his stick on that. It might have, going through that crowd, it might have glanced off a couple of people, but where it ended up was the key for Dave Maley, and Dennis Potvin lost sight of it too. He was just trying to push Maley to the side. Try and watch the right of your screen. There's Maley. You know, by the time it came out of the crowd, Maley was just able to pick up on it faster than Potvin. Whoa, look at Greg Gilbert.
Denied by Burke. It remains a one-goal game thanks to that Devils goal. Loisel tries to turn it along. Trottier keeps it in. Burke behind. Had a man shoved into him. That was Gilbert by Wolanin, and Wolanin comes right back to check Gilbert again. Now it's Makela behind the net. Flipping one that forces the Islanders back. A race on. Can Gerald Diddick get there for the Islanders? No, it's punched by Conacher. In deep now is Loisel, taken out of the play by Diddick. Back up come the Islanders. They have the lead 3-2 with 7:10 to go in regulation time. Gilbert can't penetrate. Randy Belichick back on the New Jersey defense. Pass ahead to Conacher, checked quickly by Brent Sutter. Sutter trying to muscle it along, gets it to Alan Kerr, and the Islanders have some room. Henry plays to Sutter. Through now to Norton. Norton trying to turn Cirella. Rising shot was off of Burke. And it's cleared back up to Broughton. Broughton's pass is checked away by Norton. Feeds it back into Morrow. Joe Cirella back along to Muller. Muller with a look now, and the play is off Bruce Driver and spun quickly back along by Norton. Henry able to jab it back to the Devils line. Curvers hammers one that's blocked away by the waffle board of Rudy. Back to the point, and Driver shot deflected on goal. And did Rudy ever squirm and react quickly on that one? Henry with a play on to Brent Sutter. Lays it back out to Alan Kerr. Shouldered by Curvers. Ahead with it, Henry to drop it in for a shift change. 6 minutes to go, third period. Devils trailing in the game by 1. They were down by 2, fought back on a ricocheting goal that was tapped in from the front by Maley. Johnson can't get through. King bumped by Curvers. LaFontaine stripped with the help of McLean. This is Johnson. Lays it for McLean, and a shot blocked away by Rudy. Pat LaFontaine checked by Sundstrom. Still they muscle it along. Puck comes up to Wood. Wood of the Islanders can't control. LaFontaine rams into his man, John McLean.
There's still a glove and a stick behind the net. That's Claude Loisel. He dropped his glove and a stick to fight Gerald Diddick. Diddick just skated away from him. Sooner or later, I figured the puck was going to hit it.
Puck cleared out of play. 5:25 left in the third. Maley's goal brings his team back to within 1.
I'll be right out. Let me just put this Bud Light away. Hey, Otto. Come on.
Honey, where's Otto? Otto? Otto?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
In the battle against athlete's foot, you gotta have, boom, tough actin Tinactin. Tinactin pump spray is clinically proven to stop the severe itching and burning of athlete's foot. Tinactin is so tough it even prevents athlete's foot. So get, boom, tough actin Tinactin.
We gave it the power of 227 horses. We gave it the control of all-wheel drive. But the spirit of a 3-time World Rally champion, that it had to earn. Meet the turbocharged rally-bred Subaru WRX. That's the beauty of Subaru all-wheel drive.
Soccer fans, get fired up for a great season of MLS action. When you order MLS ESPN Shootout, you'll get over 100 matches and select playoff games. So bring the action home. Order MLS ESPN Shootout now. Call your cable company, DirecTV, or Dish Network.
Puck turned back out, but away from the stick of Maley. Flung back in by Diddick. Burt just slowed it, and Crom tries to center, but that one tipped by Craig Wolanin. Right back toward Wolanin it goes, and it's Basson trying to get through. Back to Diddick for the drive. That one flapped wide. Hustling in is Basson. Behind the net for Lauer. Checked by Danico. Lauer tried to stuff her, but couldn't control. Craig Wolanin gives it back up the wing to Shanahan. Another Devil shift change on as Shanahan lays one loudly off the boards and then heads for the bench. It's Crom for the Islanders. Steps away from Muller. Pass on up to Trottier. Can't get through Joe Cirella, and ahead with it comes Verbeek. Muller and Broughton are with him. Verbeek can't get by the defense of Norton. Trottier turns it back the other way. It's a 3-on-2, and now the Devils are back to catch up. Trottier taken out of the play by Belichick. Cirella trying to yank it free. Boots it right back along to Muller. Taps across to Verbeek. Kirk Muller brings it on Morrow. Deals it to Verbeek, and a shot was high and off Rudy into the seats. Faceoff will remain in the Islanders' zone. Rudy protests, saying that it didn't go off him, but it will remain right in the circle to the right of Kelly Rudy. 3:57 to go in the third, and the Islanders have the lead 3-2, and what a year for Mr. Verbeek.
Well, he broke his own record for goals by a Devil in one season. course, Greg Adams had tied that. The old record was 35. Verbeek shattered that this year for a Devils record of 46 goals. He has just not let up from the time the puck was dropped to open the season, and he will have to be a key for the Devils if they want to defeat the Islanders in this series. This whole line, only 4 players scored over 20 goals on the Devils team. 3 of them play on one line. The big gun is Verbeek. He has to come through.
Clock continues to bleed down to 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Islanders ahead in this game 3-2. Puck back in on Rudy, who sets it up for Norton. The rookie getting the regular shift that he has earned. Dropped into the corner for Wood. One-timer was off the mark. Bouncing puck was tough for him to tee up and get away. It's LaFontaine back for Wood. Arriving to this one will be McLean for New Jersey. Islanders have 3 men in the forechecking scheme of things, and it's shoveled off to LaFontaine. Fakes. Can he go by? Around in front, but helped out by the big goal stick of Burke. Play continues to be New Jersey's. Back up now to McLean. McLean taken to the boards by Conroy. Solid check there. Puck flipped back ahead. On with it is Wood, but is sealed off by Ken Danico. Wood hurries to the Islanders bench for a shift change. 2 minutes, 50 seconds to go in the third. One hops for Henry. Behind the net, there's going to be a penalty coming up. Denis presses his man. Delayed call on, and now it'll be whistled. Interference is the call. There'll be a New Jersey power play coming up. They trail by 1.
The bow. Resistance becomes strength. Becomes power. The power to change and reshape your entire body. This is Bowflex, an entire gem-in-one easy-to-use machine. So powerful, it delivers over 60 health club quality exercises with up to 410 pounds of resistance in any room in your home. Strength training with Bowflex is so effective that we guarantee you'll get the results you want in 6 weeks or less. One simple workout. 20 minutes a day, 3 days a week. You can target every area you want to work on. Upper body, abs, lower body, and even aerobic exercise. Bowflex is real. The results are real. And you can own one with no money down and payments as low as $33 per month. For a free video and brochure, call or go online at bowflexdirect.com. Do the research. Listen to real customers. Then place your order online and get started. Working out with Bowflex is easy and it's effective. You can get results like tighter abs, firmer legs, stronger arms, and a great chest without stepping foot into a gym.
When I first started, I was 280 pounds. Now I'm 246.
I mean, I've had my kids even say, Dad, your arms are looking bigger, your chest looks bigger.
Yeah, I started out at 215 pounds, and I got down to 160 pounds.
I lost 4 inches in my waist, gained like 2 inches in my chest.
My clothes fit me so much better. I feel good about myself.
I'm in better shape now at 50 probably than I was when I was in my 20s.
I'm just sorry I didn't find a Bowflex 40 years ago.
Take the Bowflex challenge and get the power to change your body in 6 weeks. Call right now for a free video and brochure. Bowflex, the power is yours.
Flag 1.5. Look out!
Didick interference at 17-16. The officials live up to their word. They are calling them tightly here, and we've seen that from Andy Van Hellemond in this first game.
Devils are 0 for 7 tonight. If they're going to get one, now's the time.
Puck finesse to Emerick, but he was checked by Conroy, so he couldn't get a shot away. Verbeek shoulders with Trottier. Kerber's a one-timer, deflected away by Rudy. Chopped at by Conroy. Puck skips back to Kerber. Some interference there, but legally so, by Broughton as the centering passes to Verbeek. Peels away from one, put it off the back of the net, then fished it loose. Pat Verbeek for New Jersey works it along to Driver. Able to skip it through to Verbeek as Strom was right on him. Now it is Broughton. Tips one in front. Muller, a shot saved. They hang on. Kelly, Rudy, Strom, but was big in the goal crease for the Islanders.
Unbelievable. Kurt Muller ends up all alone. somehow in front of Kelly Rudy. The box moved way over to this side. There were 3 Devils on this side. There's one Islanders defender. Now Aaron Broughton is trying for a pass through the box. He is not trying, obviously, for that deflection off the Islanders player, and it carried him right into Kirk Muller. That's why Muller was alone. Watch this pass from Broughton. He is not trying for the front of the net. He is trying to go right through over to the left because there's a player cutting in. Watch him come from the left. See the player that just came in? That's who he was trying for. It was a deflection off of Crom's skate on the attempted pass by Broughton right through that seam, that lane in the middle of the box. It bounced right in front to Muller, but Rudy was there, as he has been almost all night. It's the big number, 0 for 7. Sooner or later, the law of averages say they got to score one, but are they going to run out of time? Is this it?
1:59 to go. Driver, the shot.
Yes.
Score!
Yes.
John McLean, the clutch man again for the Devils, and the game is tied at 3. The hero of Sunday is right now the hero of Wednesday.
And he might just stay hot, Mike, right through the playoffs. He got over 30 goals last year, tapered way off this year, but he stations himself in front for the deflection from Bruce Driver. McLean tied the game in Chicago the last day of the year, and he won it in overtime with another goal that same game. Here he is again on the deflection from the shot from Bruce Driver. Got through Kelly Rudy. And unless somebody can do something within the next minute and 56 seconds, that's how much time is left in this game. We got our first overtime game of the playoffs.
And that is a full-scale intermission followed by a 20-minute sudden death period. Centering pass cut off by Loisel. Pat LaFontaine has it for the Islanders. Trying to pivot away from his man Loisel. Fires one that's deflected wide. Centering pass. Potvin went wide with the shot. May have gotten the post. A penalty coming up on New Jersey. Delayed call is on. King gives it on back to Diddick. Roughed up by Conacher. Play made to Wood. Randy Wood with 1:20 left in regulation time. Locks up with Belichick. Devils now touch. There'll be a power play coming up to the Islanders with the game tied and 1:17 to go. Oh, yeah.
It's not going to stop. Andy Van Hellemond he's declared, hasn't he? From start to finish, Andy Van Hellemond has been a man of his word. Now, if all of the other officials are as consistent, this will be a very interesting playoff year because, quite frankly, folks, this is something that Mike and Drew will agree we have never seen. We have never seen this kind of officiating in a playoff game, right down to the wire, calling it the same at the end as was called at the beginning. What a chance by Potvin. It just went off the side of the net. I don't think Burke got a piece of it. Dennis Potvin just let it slip off the end of his stick, tried to cut a fine line and slip it in that side, and missed it. And Sorella is the man that's off for cross-checking. 1:17 to go.
Interesting, isn't it, that Van Hellemond was the man who refereed that 4-overtime game. And it can show you the trend and the change from one year to the next because we had several infractions in that could have been called minor penalties. But that was then. This is now. 1:17 to go. Third period, game tied at 3. And the Islanders forced to chase. Gives us a chance to tell you that Norton and Potvin will again be the point men. And up front, LaFontaine will have on his left King. And over on his right, Mikko Makala. Norton brings it ahead. Hands on to LaFontaine. Pivots by Kerbers. Can't muscle it home. Puck flung back out.
What a save by Burke. He sensed that LaFontaine only had one hand on his stick because he was using the other arm to hold off the defender. Burke just laid right on the side and stacked his pads, one against the other. LaFontaine tried to lift it over with one hand, just couldn't get it up high enough.
This is Potvin back. Hands on to Norton. Norton looks for King and has him. Play broken down, and then down to the ice goes Driver. The puck lines up right underneath him, and he covers up. Driver flopped to the ice as though he might have been hurt.
Yeah, I think he got hit up high in the face, and the people here can yell all they want because the puck ended up going to Driver. He didn't dive on the puck. He was already down by the time the puck ended up under him. Yeah, he got hit up high.
Looks over at Andy Van Hellemond.
Here's a look at it. Gary King just kind of dumps it in. He's wearing 27. Driver tries to put it out. There was the high stick. I think it was LaFontaine that just was trying to get in inside the zone and get possession of the puck that hit Driver up high. But it's a valuable stoppage of play for the Devils. Anytime you're killing a penalty, especially at this juncture, at this stage of the game, as many whistles as you can create, it will really help you. That power play needs flow. It needs rhythm. It needs some kind of continuity. So when you can chop it up with the whistles, it's a lot easier to kill penalties.
Saw Bob Hoffmeyer a moment ago wearing the earpiece that's connected to the upstairs area of the Coliseum here, where he's getting instructions from the coaching staff of the Devils. Puck held by Leiter and a shot. Oh, and that got through a screen but was sent away by Burke. Up in front, a shot by Trottier went wide. LaFontaine points it back to Potvin. 12 seconds left before we hit overtime. Leiter a shot, deflected in front, punched back out.
That should do it.
5 seconds as Trottier goes back. The Devils and Islanders in the first Devils playoff game. Can't do it in 3 periods. It will take at least one more.
Shots on goal in the third period. New Jersey 10, the Islanders 9.
10 shots on goal in the period for the Islanders. The Devils also had 10. They were even in that department too. There'll be a power play going into sudden death overtime when action recommences after an intermission. We can use it.
When pliers won't grip, ratchets won't click, and wrenches won't fit, you just have to quit. No way! Introducing the squeeze wrench. It works in virtually any space and fits any place. Look, in this tight space, an ordinary wrench can't turn. But with the squeeze wrench, you can easily tighten with no trouble at all. A simple squeeze of the handle accelerates the squeeze wrench to tighten or loosen standard and metric nuts and bolts. Now easily tighten a ceiling fan blade, repair a barbecue grill, or install a light fixture where no other tool has gone before. If you can squeeze toothpaste, you can operate the squeeze wrench. You can even reach a bolt behind the oven without moving it. The secret is internal ratchet action that allows you to get power in impossible places, like behind a door handle or in between a crib. Watch, this handheld driver gives you limited power, but the squeeze wrench is over 3 times more powerful on the same bolt. Now adjust a rusty lawnmower, install a garage door opener, or tackle any tough automotive job. Hey, stop busting your knuckles with a regular screwdriver, because the squeeze wrench comes with these screwdriver attachments. Now any hidden screw is easy to get to. Why spend hundreds on tools when all you need is the squeeze wrench? During this special TV offer, you get the squeeze wrench, 5 metric socket inserts, and 4 standard socket inserts, this 1/4-inch bit adapter, and 2 screwdriver bits, all for only $19.95. But it gets better. As a bonus, we'll include this compact carry case to store your squeeze wrench in the kitchen, workshop, or trunk. Yours free. The squeeze wrench comes with an incredible lifetime replacement warranty. If it ever breaks, wears, or fails, we'll replace it free for life. No questions asked. So order now.
Have your credit card ready and call 1-800-653-9911 to order your squeeze wrench for just $19.95 and receive the bonus carry case free. Or send check or money order to this address. We also accept checks by phone. Call 1-800-653-9911.
It's a power play for the Islanders. Cirella is in the box with 43 seconds of time still to serve. Pat LaFontaine has Makela on his right, King on his left. Same point men as before, of course. Norton and Denis Potvin. Puck laid back down the ice by Curvers. First one there is Sundstrom. And we get a stoppage of play as it is ruled an offside pass against the New Jersey Devils as Sundstrom was in the zone early. Jim Schoenfeld eyeing all of this up from the New Jersey bench.
You know, it's been such a weird game penalty-wise. Nobody expected Andy Van Hellemond to call this many penalties. I know Terry Simpson didn't. Neither team has really been able to establish any kind of forechecking game. I haven't seen that many corner battles at even strength that teams have been able to establish and continue and build on, because that's something that needs rhythm too. You need to establish a forechecking game. It doesn't just happen.
Head high drive by Norton. Makela back to King.
Nobody in front. Nobody in front, Mike.
Norton with a drive. Pad stop. Rebound. Another save by Sean Burke on the backhander by Potvin. Good point to make, because you want to get a guy there.
Sure. I'm looking at a complete umbrella all the way around. And as I was saying, nobody in front. Denis Potvin finally took it upon himself to get in front. He should be back there on the blue line. He got twisted around with Pat LaFontaine. Jeff Norton made the smart play. Norton waited. Now he sees Potvin there, and that's who he is trying to shoot for, is Potvin for the deflection. But Norton, he's made so many heads-up plays since he has joined this Islanders team from the U.S. Olympic team. Played like a veteran. I'm very impressed with his play. You talk about a lot of rookies. We haven't mentioned him tonight. We talked about Sean Burke and his poise. Jeff Norton has shown me as much poise as any player on the ice tonight.
Speaking of poise, Pat LaFontaine. Norton, the native of Cambridge, Massachusetts, out of the University of Michigan, matched up with the veteran Potvin. It's Makala dealing it in to LaFontaine, then Makala back to Potvin. Wrist shot sailed wide. 7 seconds to go on the Sorella minor. Makala, Potvin, wrist shot sailed off the glass. Out of the box, Sorella. LaFontaine to the front. Sliding play made by Kerbers, and it is sent back off for Sorella, who would be an offside recipient if he touches. And he just waits. Now we get the stoppage of play. I think he was hoping that Norton would go back and play it so he might be able to strip him of it, but Norton was too smart for that. So we get a stoppage with 56 seconds gone here in overtime.
Boy, 2 times Denis Potvin got the puck back there, and we talked about perhaps not trying to score from there, looking for somebody in front, just getting a shot on net for a rebound. He went high to the glove side on 2 of them. He wanted to put the game away. You know what he ended up with? Nothing. He didn't even get a shot on goal. He rifled 2 high and wide.
This franchise of New Jersey goes back to '74. It began in Kansas City, then went to Colorado, and now in New Jersey. And all that time, they only made the playoffs one other year, and that was with the Colorado Rockies, who faced Philadelphia in a best-of-3 series, and that first game went to overtime too. Mel Bridgman of Philadelphia, later a New Jersey captain, won that one for the Flyers. In their last 8 playoff series, the Islanders have lost the first game. Sutter crosses sticks with Broughton. The puck picked up by Danico. Sutter moves right toward him. It's brushed further and high into the air, waiting for it Alan Kerr. Stymied by Muller. And here's Broughton racing for the loose one, and it is poked away to the corner by Leiter, but there'll be a penalty coming up to Ken Leiter.
Looky here.
And the Devils will get a power play in overtime themselves.
Looky here and gather round a penalty in overtime. I mean, I'm stunned.
It's a new year.
I had to think that Andy Van Hellemond would be consistent from the body of the game to the overtime. There it is. Aaron Broughton going down over the stick of Brent Sutter. And a power play in overtime. This is bizarre. I mean, this has never been done before. Terry Simpson starting to get a little worked up right about now.
I'm sure there are 2 sides to this coin. Now, one says if you call everything, you're at least penalizing impeding skill players. And that's one side of the argument. You enable the skill players to better perform. On the other side, you have a steady parade at the penalty box.
Well, I'll tell you what the teams tonight consider unfair is that this wasn't even done during the season. So, in other words, this is a brand new leaf. This is going further than the officials even went during the regular season. Calling penalties in overtime, they hardly did that during the regular season.
There were 21 times out of the games that went into overtime where there were power plays, and 4 times only were there scores on power plays. The fans went offside but don't get it. Aaron Broughton slams on the brakes, takes a look. Has Muller at the front to the right and gives to him. Muller hustled one in front. I think he hoped for a stuffer there, but lost it off his stick, but to Kerbers. Kerbers deals it to Verbeek. Hands back to Kerbers. Quickly over to Driver for a shot. Knocked down. Scramble at the front of the goal. And away with it comes Muller as Rudy fights his way back to his feet. Muller holding. Points it back to Driver. Driver with a shot. Knocked down in front. Muller backhander. Save made by Rudy. Muller to the corner. Still able to control. Halfway through this overtime power play. Kerbers a drive. Sticked away by Rudy. Verbeek feeds one in front. Bouncing puck. Cleared by Conroy. It's Kerbers laying it back ahead to Mark Johnson. 45 seconds to go on the power play. McLean bounces it in deep. Gilbert drills it along. In to get it is Mark Johnson, held off by Morrow. Behind it comes to Driver. Bruce Driver pivoting. No one back at his point, so he moves that direction himself to turn it over to McLean. 25 seconds as McLean with a drive sealed in the pads by Kelly Rudy.
That just about squeaked through. Did you see Kelly Rudy look behind him after McLean took the shot?
And they always say there's an opening between those pads. You can't press them tightly enough.
Absolutely. McLean doesn't have that much room originally, so he backs up. And he just took a quick shot. Watch Rudy look down. Thinks he has it, but it drops between his legs. Oh, that's what happened. He popped it out in front and it hit his glove and bounced down behind him. Pretty tough. That type of shot from that angle, unless you have anybody going for a rebound, is kind of a giveaway. You end up just giving it to the opposition. It's a low percentage play.
Mark Johnson to test with Trottier, who wins it cleanly. Potvin moves to play, checked by John McLean. Driver trying to hold it in, hoping for help, which did come. Play back to Curvers. Angled one, but Potvin read that. Potvin starts back out, but Driver taps it away. Now along to Patrick Sundstrom, who starts back in. Laid it along for Johnson. Chased off on the play. Here is Driver beating one in front. Tipped wide by Johnson. Johnson has a man in front, McLean, but the puck off his stick. Curvers a drive. Scramble in front. As apparently Rudy got the first one. Behind the net now. Penalty time is up. Centering play. And Rudy smothers it, and the teams are back in full strength. Incredible.
That's as active a role as Kelly Rudy has taken all night in helping himself from behind the net. He was swinging with the stick. He had gone all the way to the knob of his stick and swung it on one side, brought it back around, and stacked it right against the ice against the far post, and finally dove out to get it himself. Took matters into his own hands. Funny deflection there off a couple of people. Watch Rudy. Puck will go back behind. There's Rudy swinging for it. Now watch what he does with his stick. See how he goes down to try and block coming out the other side? Finally, he jumps. Says, I'll take it from here, guys. Everybody just relax. There was an interesting situation inside the blue line. 2 Islanders went down. Greg Gilbert's over at the boards on the top side. There they are right there. Pat LaFontaine, it looks like. And Denis Potvin locked skates and went down. Driver tried to thread it through to one of his Devil teammates at the side, but it never really clicked.
Well, they had it in the zone a great deal of time. All but 29 seconds.
That's successful, man. You can't get any better than 1:31. Well, you can, but that's strong. 4 shots is great. The only thing they didn't do is score. Those numbers are fine. No goal.
Belichick taps over to Sorella. 16:30 to go in the first sudden death overtime. Yes, we can play all night. Randy Wood handed on to Morrow. Back along for a tip at center ice that is brought further by Makala. Belichick takes it from Burke. Bounces one along to Doug Brown. Lost though, and it's sent in deep by Makala. Burke sets it up. Sorella punches it free. Pinching is Morrow, but he couldn't get by Conacher. Play made back now to Crom. To Morrow, a rising shot as he nearly tucked it in the short side high.
There was hardly any room there, but that shot had a chance.
Belichick for the Devils defense. Wraps it along to Brown. Conacher striding ahead, and the man with this is Loisel. Conacher steaming to the net. Loisel backhands it behind. Waltzing to the boards, 2 players. Ahead with it now comes Crom. Little feather pass over to Trottier. He sends it in deep, and a shift change on for the Islanders. Moving out is Brent Sutter with his combination, as here's Conacher up the wing. Conacher taken all along by Conroy, and then escapes, and then is smashed into the board by Steve Conroy. Conacher gets up, seems to be all right. It's a 4-on-2 for the Islanders. Brent Sutter in. Followed up by Leiter, and it's smothered by the defense. Loose puck, scramble in front, sent wide by Henry, who's buried by the checking of Muller. Incredible action. Alan Kerr points it back to Conroy, winds up and shoots, and that's blocked away by the sprawling Kirk Muller. And the Islanders step back to center ice, and Devils fans across the country take a big sigh. Offside call.
There were a couple of outstanding defensive plays by the Devils. One 6 feet inside the blue line. They broke up the play, but because it was a 4-on-2 and not a 3-on-2, watch what happens. There's the play being broken up. Here comes the 4th guy. It's Kenny Leiter. He takes a shot. It's blocked. Both Devils defensemen are down. They got a little lucky there, Mike. They're in a vulnerable situation when they both leave their feet that close to Sean Burke. But Kirk Muller was back to push people out of the way, and the wave came back. When that wave comes back, look out.
Well, Oh, this is fun, isn't it? Sudden death overtime in the opening night of our coverage over 2 months' time of the Stanley Cup playoffs on ESPN. Tom will bring you up to date on all of the other scores. Some of them are finals now. Who knows? This may be the last one, the last final checked in on the night, but it can be. Most of these games that do go into overtime end in the first 20-minute period. And usually around the 8 or 9 minute mark. Puck sent wide by Sutter. Taken by Curvers. Worked back ahead to Kirk Muller. Muller at center ice had it punched away. They try to follow up, and it is Muller now wristing it back in deep into the Islander zone. Can Leiter to get it. Sidesteps one check and starts to move. The play is made to Brent Sutter. Curvers is there. Can he get by? While falling, he jammed it wide. Islanders fans want a penalty. Driver outlets along to Verbeek. Spins it ahead nicely to Johnson for a shot that is deflected wide by Potvin. LaFontaine for the Islanders. Hands it along to Gerald Diddick. Has Alan Kerr nearby, but just dumps one back in on Sean Burke. 14 minutes to play. First sudden death overtime. The tie is at 3. LaFontaine pivots. Eyed up by Joe Sorella. Drops it off to King. King backhands to LaFontaine. He scores! He has done it again. It's tough to keep a superstar down, isn't it? LaFontaine dumps. Nobody picks him up. The big swirling, circling pattern. Derek King sees him breaking for the net. Here he comes. He just jabs at this one through both Devil defenders, right between Schonberg's legs. He made it look easy. Nobody picked him up. Once he dumped the puck here to King, LaFontaine was allowed to make a big circle and head right into the slot. Here comes the pass.
31, the Islanders.
Bingo.
The Islanders' next game is tomorrow night, Thursday, April
Derek
7th.
King got the only assist at 6:11 of the first sudden death overtime period.
Here it comes again. LaFontaine will come from the left of your screen. There he is with his stick raised, yelling at Derek King. Nobody there. What a time to break down right in that slot area, Mike. Very, very dangerous area. The Devils vacated it. That allowed Pat LaFontaine to skate through it. He doesn't miss many from there.
His second career playoff overtime goal, and most of you remember his first one was in the fourth overtime last Easter Sunday. Islanders win the game. Final score, the Islanders 4, the New Jersey Devils 3.
You're watching ESPN Classic.
This superstar is the subject of our bonus biography round on Sports Challenge. This week, the all-time Dodger great, Duke Snider, Don Drysdale, and Don Newton. Accept the challenge of the Miracle Man, Tom Hazy, Ron Swoboda, and Buck Harrelson. Now let's meet the host of the Sports Challenge, Dick Enberg.
Welcome. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome fans from coast to coast and around the world to our award-winning Sports Challenge show. And we welcome the amazing Mets from 1969, one of the glorious Cinderella stories in all of sport. And they're trying to stop a streak by the Brooklyn Dodgers on Sports Challenge. We had to go back to our own record book. Only one team has ever won 8 Sports Challenge games in a row. That was the Yankee team of Lefty Gomez, Joe DiMaggio, and Tommy Henry. The Dodgers have won 7 in a row, so they're going for a tie of that record in our game today. And this week, the all-time great Dodgers play for the Sun Air Home for Asthmatic Children of Tujunga, California, and the New York Mets represent the Boys Harbor of New York City, New York. Gentlemen, your first category is, it was a very good year, 1969. Of course, for the New Yorkers, that was true in many ways, especially for Mets fans. A year of miracles. And here's the Miracle Mets in Game 5 of the '69 World Series.
Trying to break this 3-3 tie in the 8th inning. Swings a line drive down the left field line. Donnie Buford into the corner. He can't get it. Short hops the ball. Here comes Cleon Jones in from second base. He scores. And the Mets take the lead 4-3. Now the 9th inning. The Orioles and the amazing Mets. 2 outs. Last call for Baltimore. Davy Johnson is the hitter. The set. The pitch. Johnson swings. Deep drive. Left center field. Cleon Jones fades back. He has the room. Warning track. He's got it. The Mets have done it. The amazing Mets win the series 4-1. Shea Stadium celebrates. The underdog, New York Mets, used great pitching, timely hitting, and utterly sensational fielding to win the 1969 World Series.
And every underdog in the nation cheered that great victory. For Gil Hodges and his Miracle Mets, it was indeed a very good year. As a first baseman, Gil Hodges had another very good year, 1950, when he had 4 home runs and a single in one game for a then record 17 bases. Your question for 20 points. Another first baseman, who also became a manager, hit 4 home runs and a double in a game in '54, breaking Hodges' record, 18 bases in one 9-inning game. Duke Snyder.
Joe Adcock.
Joe Adcock is correct for 20 points. The Duker has been hot. Free throws belong to the Dodgers. '69 was also a great year for the AFL. They came of age. Here's Earl Morrall trying unsuccessfully to change the inevitable. Remember Super Bowl III?
Still as Colts trail the Jets 7-0. Second quarter, time for the Colts to get that tying touchdown. Morrall hands off to Matty, sweeping to the right. Jimmy Orr breaking downfield, and Orr is wide open. It's the flea flicker, a lateral back to Morrall. Orr inside the 5-yard line, no one near him for the Jets, but Morrall doesn't see him. He's throwing over the middle for fullback Jerry Hill. It's intercepted by Jim Hudson. Hudson with the interception for the Jets. He gets to the 15 and 20, falls at the 20. They secure him at the 20-yard line. And ladies and gentlemen, the Colts, heavy favorites in the Super Bowl, are in big trouble.
Of course, Namath and the Jets went on to victory in that Super Bowl III. Namath, in earning that victory, wore a popular number, number 12, Brooklyn. Of the first 13 Super Bowls, only 3 quarterbacks won wearing a number other than 12. Bart Starr won Super Bowls I and II wearing number 15. Lenny Dawson wore number 16 when the Kansas City's won it, Super Bowl IV. For 10 points, name the only other winning Super Bowl quarterback who wore another number besides 12. You have 5 seconds. Time's up. So for 20 points and a chance to tie the game, Mets, what other Super Bowl quarterback won it, but he didn't wear 12?
Oh, boy.
You're all going to be so unhappy.
Yeah, you'll know his name.
Time's up. Number 19 was the number.
Johnny Unitas.
Johnny Unitas, of course. Johnny Unitas of the Baltimore Colts. All right, no points on that one, but the second free throw does belong to the Dodgers and for the New York Knicks, the fulfillment of a long-awaited dream, the 1969 NBA championship.
25 years of frustration coming to an end here at the Garden in New York. Led by their limping center, Willis Reed. The Knicks have a big lead. Final seconds. Dick Barnett. Ball back, baby. 113-99. The Knicks celebrate their first ever NBA title. And the fans chant, "We're number one."
Well, you think about that category, it was a great year for New York '69 with the Jets, the Knicks, and the Mets. Here's your question, Dodgers. Very good year for the Knicks and Red Holtzman. 1950 was also a very good year in New York for basketball fans. It was the only time that a school ever won both the NCAA and the NIT tournaments in the same season. For 10 points, name that college. Won both the NCAA and the NIT.
CCNY.
CCNY is correct. Happened to be the alma mater of Red Holtzman. Don Newcomb, a basketball fan, and after the first round, the champion Dodgers 30 and the New York Mets nothing. And we'll be right back with our second category, the unexpected. We'll have a look at a pitcher setting a new strikeout record and losing. Right after this Sports Challenge timeout.
This summer, make every day a day at the beach. Get to the 2001 Pontiac Summer Clearance and get into a new wide track Grand Prix. It has a standard V6, ABS, and traction control. Plus, its wheels are set wide for better control and grip in the curves. And now, a 2001 Grand Prix comes with 0% APR financing or $2,000 cash back. That's what you're gonna get. This is where you gotta go.
At least you'll feel smart when the car insurance bill arrives. Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Round-the-clock claim service. In case this happens in a car. Geico. A 15-minute call could